7 seasons, centuries have passed, until the day a hero named Mariner braved the stars. Dark and we love to play video games, we don't keep playing until the early morning. Dark and we explain Martin Hayes. Dark and we sell my games and more. As Mariner set off on his quest, he knew he needed a crew. The navigator joined the ranks and so did Mr. Q. Sailing for adventure, stories and for treasure. We will help you through, so climb aboard and join the crew. Deep dark ending, we love to play video games. We'll keep playing until the early morning. Deep dark ending, we explain Martin Hayes. Deep dark ending, we sell the games and more. Centuries have passed, until the day a hero named Mariner braved the stars. Deep dark and we love to play video games. We don't keep playing until the early morning. Deep dark and we explain Martin Hayes. Deep dark and we sell my games and more. As Mariner set off on his quest, he knew he needed a crew. The navigator joined the ranks and so did Mr. Q. Sailing for adventure, stories and for treasure. We will help you through, so climb aboard and join the crew. Deep dark ending, we love to play video games. We'll keep playing until the early morning. Deep dark ending, we explain Martin Hayes. Deep dark ending, we sell the games and more.
Ahoy divers, and welcome back to Deep Dive Gaming. I am the Mariner, and we are visited once again by Hiro and Tyrundeth. There he is. Ahoy, gentlemen.
Hello.
Alright,
Howdy.
let's try this again. Let's grab window capture, window, Final Fantasy. There we go. Freaking finally. It wouldn't capture it in full screen mode for whatever stupid reason, so we're going to try something a little bit on the different side today. I'm going to play Final Fantasy while we discuss Final Fantasy, because I thought it would be fun, and it may be the only time I get to play this game in the near future. Come on, center. There we go. Okay. So yes, here we are, Final Fantasy XIII. I will kill this audio for the game so that we can hear everybody talk. And ahoy Twitch, ahoy YouTube, ahoy Rumble, ahoy Mojo, ahoy Mariner Kitty, ahoy Hiro and Tyrundeth. Where do I get the... Where do I fix the sound? Okay, I'm gonna have to do it in Windows. Stand by. Volume mixer. Bip. Okay, there we go. Well, Mojo, I don't intend to talk and play at the same time. That's why I have Hiro and Tyrundeth here. They're going to read for me today. Oops, that's not what I want. There we go. Final Fantasy 13. Hiya! So who's starting this?
I kind of miss playing this one.
You
What's
missed
that?
playing this one?
I miss playing this one. I haven't been able to play it in 4 or 5 years.
F in the chat for Tyrundeth.
Uh-oh.
Well, for not being able to play Final Fantasy 13 in years. Okay, so we got that. All right. Normal mode. We're going to go ahead and do normal mode. Just to give the full experience. And my phone is still refusing to go into streamer or into routines that I previously set to do certain things,
Well,
like
that's
do not. Oh, never mind. Heroes text overrides the whole thing. So
Well, that's interesting. Can you
Yeah.
at least hear me right now?
we can hear you right now. Can you hear us?
I can hear
I
you.
can, but I can't see anything. My displays all just went black.
Oh
I
no,
think my graphics card is going out.
that's definitely a distinct possibility given what you've been telling us your problems have been tonight. So you may be the one to be calling in on the show, or you may be joining Tyrundeth in this endeavor.
Ah, yes. Well, let me switch over to my phone then, while I fart around with my computer to try and get it to work.
Good luck.
Yeah. So I guess let me do this. Since plans usually are defeated upon meeting with the enemy, I will go ahead and call up, once I can find the right window here, the fandom site for Final Fantasy 13 in Tyrundeth, and I will read, I guess.
At least for the moment.
At least for
All
the
right,
moment. Let's see. Final Fantasy 13 fandom. Okay, there's that. And then the link off to Tyrundeth. I'll drop it in Big Geek for you, Tyrundeth.
I already
What are you
sent it to
dropping?
him in the private chat.
Oh, okay.
So long as he actually looked for it.
For what?
The link.
Did you send Zelda too?
No,
Look in the
you
Big
need
Geek.
link.
Yeah.
You need link to rescue Zelda.
Okay.
Check out the link in the Big Geek channel on my Discord. In the meantime, I will do some reading while we watch the opening cinematic here, since it's plenty long.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Final Fantasy 13 is the 13th main installment in the Final Fantasy series and the flagship title of the Fabula Nova Crystallis Final Fantasy subseries developed and published by Square Enix. It was released in December 2009 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and has since been re-released on Microsoft Windows in 2014, which is what I have running right now. It was directed by Motomu Toriyama and Tatsuya Nomura, designing the main characters, the Masashi Hamauzu, and Masashi Hamauzu composing the score. The game runs on the Crystal Tools engine. It was the first multi-platform Final Fantasy title and the first to be translated into traditional Chinese. Final Fantasy 13 is set on the world of Grand Pulse, above which floats Cocoon, an artificial biodome on which humanity lives, fearful of the surface world. Lightning, a member of the Guardian Corps military forces, goes rogue when her sister Sarah is branded a I don't know how to pronounce that word. I'm just going to put it in the chat for people to read. Anyone's guess? Lassie? Okay. Well, if you check out and look at the name in the chat, you will see why I had trouble with this. Okay, so Brandon Lassie, Elsie or Lassie by a Falsey from Grand Pulse, designating her an enemy of Cocoon. The Sanctum government authorizes a purge of citizens who may have come in contact with the Falsey, and Lightning meets up with the pilot Saj Katzroy on her way to find Sarah amid the purge. Also caught up in the purge are Snowvilliers, Sarah's fiance and leader of the anti-authority group Nora, and the civilians Hope Estheim and Oerba dia Vanille, or Vinyl. How do you want to probably Vanille. The five come into contact with the Pulse Falsey Anima and are branded Elsie, or Lassie, seemingly with the focus to destroy Cocoon. The gameplay makes use of the command synergy battle system, a more fast-paced, menu-based combat system that derives from the active time battle system. The player controls the party leader and chains as many actions as there are ATB gauges, with different actions consuming different amounts of ATB. The party's abilities and actions are determined by the current paradigm, with combat requiring the player to shift between paradigms and to level the paradigm rolls via the Crystarium system. I'm already confused. The game's first half is linear, while the latter half opens up once the party reaches Grand Pulse. Final Fantasy XIII received generally positive reviews from most outlets, who praised the graphical presentation, the battle system, while the story received a mixed reaction and criticized the linearity. Final Fantasy XIII was commercially successful, with Square Enix announcing it sold approximately 6.6 million copies. When was that? Trying to get the date on that. Come in now. Come in. Load page. Oh, well, that loads. Let's see. A sequel titled Final Fantasy XIII-2 was released in 2011, and a second sequel, Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII, was released in 2014. Square Enix announced that the Lightning Saga had sold 11 million copies worldwide. I'm assuming that's all three games.
Yep.
And the report 6.6 looks like it comes from 2013. All right, so now the game is begging for my attention. So one of you guys can take over while I view the tutorial.
Yes. Well, where did you leave off? Just for our.
I believe it leaves at gameplay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Tyrundeth. You don't talk enough.
The game's progression is chapter-based, and in most chapters, the players will see the story through different characters' views. Players can move around the field map, while controlling the party leader, other members moving independently, sometimes running ahead, engaging in dialogue, or stopping to look at objects on the field, and pointing at things of interest out to the party leader. Other party members being away from the leader does not affect their participation in battles that take place in a separate module. Players can jump, but only at specific jump spots marked on the map. Enemies will appear on the map, and battles initiate when coming into contact with them. Treasure chests can't be opened near a monster, and there are several instances enemies are guarding said treasures and must be banished to collect the loot. Shrouds can be used to move around the battlefield without triggering encounters, and to bestow the party with buffs before the battles start. I don't remember if you can have more than like one or two shrouds um, active at any given time, if I remember correctly. And it is actually pronounced La C.
Yeah.
I actually had gone for quite a while trying to figure out how to pronounce it because the first L has a tendency to look like an I, or the L looks like an I, or depends on the font. Depending on the font, it's actually in. But yeah, it's actually La C, phonetically Luhsee.
Okay.
Let's see here, and you do actually fight some that are, as well as I think some falsi later on. Not spoilers, doesn't tell you who it is or when.
Yeah. This is the first game too to have a primary character be female, right?
mm,
I
I don't know about that.
trying to remember. I am trying to remember. Anyways, where did you leave off there, Chair?
Shrouds.
Still in the gameplay mode, or
Yeah, still in gameplay.
Shrouds.
About halfway through.
So third paragraph.
Okay, some enemies may fight each other, and interacting with them initiates a three-way battle. That's actually pretty cool. Players can't set the party or the party leader until later into the game, but diversity
Whoops.
is brought in via the paradigm shift
I died.
system. Oh no, that's not awesome. The party leader being incapacitated spells game over, but the player will simply appear at the point on the field right before they initiated the fight, and they may either re-attempt the battle or leave it. Final Fantasy XIII is the fourth main series Final Fantasy game where the player doesn't routinely win gil from battles. Instead, money is gained from treasure spheres and selling items. Save stations allow the player to save and access the retail network where items and equipment can be bought or sold. Interesting. I like icy better, Mojo says. Yes.
Sorry to burst your bubble there, Mojo.
Well, when she plays it, she can pronounce however she wants to.
This is true.
Yeah.
It's my playthrough, and I'll say what I want to, say what I want to, name who I want to.
Now your target's almost dead there. Let's see if you can make sure you don't
Probably,
swish.
yeah. Mojo's right. I can't play and even pretend to talk during a stream, or at least have my attention split. Because I think I was just standing there taking random hits before and got clobbered. I gotta pay more attention.
Yeah,
Or at this point, in the game,
remember...
it's more like just continue to button mash because there's only really one command.
Fair enough. And there goes my video again.
Oh no.
Anyways, yeah, I won't be reading. Looks like I won't be reading. Time
to get out the old Surface.
What was that?
Where did you leave off?
I finished the gameplay section.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Did you
The battle system
also
called
get your
Go
maybe
ahead.
get your surface up so you at least have something to go off of?
Yeah, we can do that. I will go grab that. Actually, I've still got my Chromebook just chilling right here. Might as well use it.
That works too. Technically not a computer, but works.
Uh,
Well, it's not a PC, let's say it that way. It's a computer in the most basic definitions of the term.
I would go with not a PC, yes.
Just because it's not a PC doesn't mean it's not a computer.
that's why I was making the
Yeah.
distinction.
Ah, yes. Oh boy, that's not good.
Yeah, I got him. It was close, but I got him.
I was watching the cannon fire off.
Yeah. I wasn't seeing a way to dodge that.
You got a 5-star rating. Nice.
I do not know how. Like I said, I've only got one action. I was pretty much just whenever I could push the button, I was pushing the button.
Battle system commonly called called the Command Synergy Battle in game has been described as more tactical than Final Fantasy X, faster than Final Fantasy X2, and almost as seamless as Final Fantasy XII. The enemies are visible in the field. When the player runs into them, the screen lights up and the scene switches to a vast blank battlefield, marking the start of a battle where the player can control one character out of a party of up to 3. After a certain point in the game, the lead character can be switched outside of battle. The active time battle gauge, here referred to as referred to as ATB at this point,
How's that bird staying
gauge is
up?
divided into sections. Each command has a numeric value referred to as ATB cost next to the name, indicating how many sections it will take up. Allowing the player to input several commands per turn, the next turn comes up sooner if the ATB bar is only partially used. Magic and summoning are only available to party members who are Lassie or Icy. Mojo. A new element called the chain gauge is specific to each enemy and fills as the player performs attack combos, marked by a percentage. Upon filling the gauge, the enemy enters stagger mode, where the player can inflict even more damage. Staggered enemies can be launched into the air and juggled with attacks. Staggering is almost essential to winning many of the battles. Oh god, how I remember. Because of the ATB cost determining the moves a player can use, the game has no MP, since magic cannot be used outside of battle. The player's HP is restored after every battle. Full ATB skills work similar to limit breaks from previous games as being character-specific special moves. Even if there's no escape command, the player can leave battle with the retry option. When a battle is won, a battle results screen gives the player a 0 to 5-star ranking and shows how long the fight took. This information is linked to the trophy and achievement systems. If I remember correctly, part of that rating is actually how long the battle takes. So, yeah, that's...
Yeah, there's that. Let's see.
Paradigm shift there, Hiro.
Yep, I will get back to that. Yes, Mojo knows my pain. Well, maybe my pain's a little bit different on my surface. Get off me, mutt. I see you. I will give you love. Yes, you are loved. Now give me space and quit trying to claw the hell out of my arm.
Oh, Mojo, so sorry. Yikes.
Let's see.
Want to touch it? Why can't I touch
Paradigm
it?
shift. Okay, the player can only control one character at a time. The other party members' actions are governed by a system called paradigm shift. Paradigms are described as stances or classes the characters temporarily take during a battle to define the abilities they use, but they're more strict than job classes. For example, and I gotta maximize my window because it didn't automatically resize it. Poor web design. Uh, for example, the party member with a medic's role can only heal. In contrast, the commando's role forces them to only attack with non-elemental attacks. Their paradigms can be changed at any time to suit the situation at hand, but they cannot be adjusted individually, only for the whole party at a time. Thus, the paradigm is a combination of 3 roles. There are 83 possible paradigm combinations, 6 single, 21 double, and 56 triple member combinations.
And
The
some
roles are
battles
shown.
where some roles over others.
The roles are shown as colored abbreviations next to the character's name on the battle screen. The roles within the paradigms are Commando, Ravager, Sentinel, Saboteur, Synergist, and Medic, which respectively is Attack, Blaster, Defender, Jammer, Enhancer, and Healer. So, yes. Crystarium. Anybody want to pick that up? We can just keep kicking it back and forth here, Tyrundeth, if you'd like.
Okay. Characters grow in power in a system similar to the sphere grid from Final Fantasy X, called the Crystarium.
Oh, Lord.
Characters win Christogen points in battles and can use them to purchase stat boosts, spells, and other abilities on a circular chart. The skills on a character learns affects their ability to learn other skills and opens new paths on the chart. Learning fire, for example, opens a skill path that leads to Thera and other spells. The available abilities in the Cristeria vary between party members, but series staples such as Attack, Fire, Blizzard, and Cure return along with new commands such as Blitz, which causes area of effect damage, and Ruin, a new non-elemental spell. The system opens up in stages, and party members cannot develop further after completing the current stage. The Crystarium final stage opens up by defeating the final boss, meaning to develop the party fully, players must take on the post-game content.
Oh, Lord. All right. Do we want to drone on about equipment, or do we want to jump to something else?
Probably jump
It's
to
up to
something
you.
else. I imagine I'm not seeing it, but I imagine that there's a lot of equipment to cover.
Yeah, equipment's actually probably about double any of the other sections. Aside from, like, plot or something like that. So, I can honestly say, based on my experience in Final Fantasy, you're going to see pretty much a generic similarity of all equipment across Final Fantasy. Your different bangles, your different wrist equipment, accessories, things like that. I could
Mojo
be
has a
wrong.
question in the chat for you too that I do not know how to
Oh.
answer.
We can get back to it.
Oh,
Basically, she's asking, is that the ability chart that looks like the one from Pokemon? I'm assuming she's referring
Oh.
to this one.
The Cristaria chart.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, obtain the potion. Woohoo!
So let's see. Let me jump back to the Final Fantasy thing here. Summoning returns in the form of eidolons. It looks like for the most part it's the same summons as previous games. Shiva, although it's Shiva's sisters this time. Odin, Bahamut, Alexander. He was a bitch. Pardon my language. In Final Fantasy VII. What is it? Remake, rebirth. I can't remember if it was the first one or the second one. I think it was the second one. Rebirth. You get Alexander. He was a pain. Brynhildr in Hecaton Nashir. Whoa. Those are two that I don't recognize. Same with Carbuncle and Valefor. Although Ramu and Ifrit, like, yeah, common. Looks like you get, yeah. But you summon through technical points. Oh. So the new summon system changes. You can only summon based off of the technical points you accumulate by winning battles. So your summons are effectively limited by your battles. And then you have, instead of HP, they use summon points, SP. But SP also decreases over time. Okay, yeah. Completely different summon system. And you get a Gestalt mode, which... Heh. Okay. That's interesting.
One that
Reminds
sticks
me
out
of-
in my mind is the one for Lightning's lover. It turns into a motorcycle.
Well, that's interesting. It does seem a little reminiscent of Final Fantasy 16, but that's a discussion for another show.
Like when
Or
we
a
get
later
to,
show?
Yeah, later show.
But it is also, while I say it sounds similar, it is also very different. That's going to be a completely different conversation.
The more Final Fantasy it stays the same, the more it changes.
Yeah, it definitely does go both ways. Let's see, jumping down, because missions, let's see, Grand Pulse has several points marked with, I'm not going to try that, stones, where the party may accept missions. These are similar in function to the hunts in Final Fantasy XII and involve battling one of many monsters around Grand Pulse. They are not part of the main stories, but players can experience foci of past Lassie who failed to complete their assignments, and thus their targets are still alive. It is up to the player whether to defeat the specific enemy of some of which have been compared by staff to mountains towering above the party. Like Adamantoise. Oh, Adamantoise in 15. Oh.
Didn't get any better on 13.
What's that?
They weren't any better in 13.
Did you see the one in 15?
I don't know, but I definitely saw the one that you end up having to fight in 13. And simply put, what a cat sees compared to you is what you see compared to it. I should say kitten.
Okay. Okay. I'll see your kitten comparison and raise you a literal mountain. Yes, in Final Fantasy 15, the central mountain you see on the map or in the environment is the Adamantoise asleep. It was quite a challenge because its hitbox was weird and its range to hit you was also weird.
Get it, Mojo.
Yeah, but I
Get the
think that
bot.
was probably because of the size. Anyways, by completing these tasks, the party can gain materials and items to improve their equipment. The missions are repeatable as although players only attain the base mission reward once, subsequent completion will earn different types of rewards, usually of lesser quality. Bomb ashes, bomb shells, blah, blah, blah. Replaying missions is likely required to attain all achievements or trophies, as one needs a 5-star battle rating for all missions. You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hunts are a recurring theme in Final Fantasy. It doesn't surprise me to see it in 13. I'm assuming that 13 is probably one of the first. I can't remember if we discussed it previously, but one of the first to do the hunts in the Final Fantasy series. Anyways,
believe that is okay.
I will now pass the ball to you, Tyr.
Where were we? Oh, that was the end of
Finished.
missions.
Yeah, finished missions. I unintentionally read two sections, but there was a little bit of a period of a hiccup.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see. Yeah. I think we'll go ahead and skip the setting bit because there's actually a fair amount of spoilers left in it.
Mm.
Why they did that, I don't know.
I think we might have had spoilers
fandom.
I think we might have had spoilers in settings sections before, but yeah, if you want to skip it.
It's some of it's pretty well hefty to the main thing, yeah. Other than, the starting thing is Cocoon, a hollow floating world, or hollow floating mini world above Grand Pulse.
How Missing Castle? What? Or How Floating Castle?
Stationary.
Hmm.
Stationary.
Moving castle. Anyways.
Playable characters: Lightning, formerly a member of the Guardian Corps in Bodum. Before her life came crashing down when her younger sister Sarah became a Pulse lessee. Regretting her refusal to believe Sarah, Lightning volunteers to be purged to save her. She is an agile fighter who makes use of a variety of gun blades, the Blaze Fire Saber among them.
I feel like this particular part of the game I'm playing now is like somewhere like you know how in movies or in a TV series the episode starts off like with several large elements of the story missing, and then the rest of the episode is flashing back to you get a thing that says 12 hours ago or 12 hours before or 12 hours previously. I feel like I'm in the middle of a opening segment that will revisit at some point in the future after we do the flashback to set the scene.
Cannot confirm nor deny that.
So that's a yes. Oops, I just pushed the guy off the edge there.
Snowvillier, leader of Nora. Snowvillier is a sturdy man whose mannerisms resemble those of a cowboy. He travels to the Hanging Edge to fight Psycom and the Purge to save his fiancée Sarah. Oops, it's Sarah that's Sarah's lover, not Lightning's lover. That has the motorcycle.
Ah,
Although Snow uses his fists to fight, his equipped weapon is a runed coat designed to enhance the wearer's strength. Werba Diavanil, a spirited young girl with a mysterious past who carries a heavy burden that the others are initially unaware of. She acts as the story's main narrator and can be considered a deuteragonist. Her weapon of choice is the binding rod. Saz Katzroy, which is the guy with the afro there. Middle-aged man with dark skin and afro. Huh. He was formerly in the military, but now works as a civilian airship pilot. In hopes of saving his son, Daj, he boards the Purge train. He fights with 2 pistols that can combine into a rifle and owns a chocobo chick that hides in his hair.
I already like this dynamic.
Hope Estheim, a teenage boy from Palum, whatever, who, with his mother, is part of the group of exiles on board the Purge train. Blaming Snow for his mother's death, Hope follows him but ends up being forced to work with him and the others. He wields boomerangs in battle. Werba Yunfei, a tan-skinned woman with a large tattoo on one arm and a scorched mark of the lassie on the other. She searches for a friend and aims to complete her focus. Her weapon of choice is a variety of double-edged spears, including the bladed lance, capable of becoming 3-sectioned staffs.
That sounds so familiar.
Go ahead from there.
All right, you have some guests. Godot, a member of Nora and Snow's childhood friend, dark-skinned man with orange hair and teal clothes. His design is based on NBA and hip-hop fashion. He uses a machine gun in battle.
Is this gal?
Oh.
Is this Godot guy a gal or Godot gal? Is it gal Godot?
You tried really hard there.
I tried. I always mess up the delivery.
LeBrew or LeBro. A woman with black hair and a butterfly tattoo on her shoulder. She is the only female member of Nora. Her outfit is based on volleyball players wearing short shorts and a tank top, like shirt with puffy sleeves.
Is
She
her
uses a rifle in
surname?
battle.
Is her surname James? LeBrew James?
Oh Lord. All right, well, here's some spoilery content with the story, so we can probably skip that.
Mojo
more
will smack me
spoilery
later verbally,
content.
probably.
What's that? Oh yeah, probably. More spoilery content with themes. Actually, that's a longer section than.
Remember, we can
story.
go a second week on this, so we don't have to try and get
Well-
all the way through it if there's a lot of sections to cover. But yeah, skip the
Well, we
spoilery
can
stuff.
probably-
There's a lot of sections. It's just we're just trying to not spoil half the stuff because like you're kind of playing it.
Yeah. I don't care
we
too
could
much.
probably pick up with. We could probably pick up with equipment if you want to break this off to next week, and then pick up with. It looks like we could pick up with synopsis because it doesn't. It's not actually tagged for spoilers.
Okay, you want to run
There's
that then?
Okay. I'll go ahead and pick up what's setting. Do you want me to read the quote? Because it sounded like you thought there was spoilers in the quote.
The quote actually is the beginning of the game. I don't see a reason to that should be an issue.
Okay. So, Cocoon, Utopia in the Sky. Its inhabitants believed their world a paradise under the Sanctum's rule. Cocoon had long known peace and prosperity. Mankind was blessed by its protectors, the benevolent Falsi, and believed that tranquil days would continue forever. Their tranquility was shattered with the discovery of one hostile Falsi, the moment that Falsi from Pulse, the feared and detested lower world, awoke from its slumber. Peace on Cocoon came to an end. I'm half distracted. Falsi curse humans, turning them into magic-wielding servants. They become Lassie, chosen of Falsi. Those branded with the mark of a Lassie carry the burden of either fulfilling their focus or facing a fate harsher than death itself. A prayer for redemption, a wish to protect the world, a promise to challenge destiny. After 13 days of fates intertwined, the battle begins. If you could, Tyrundeth.
Okay. Cocoon is a hollow floating world created 13 centuries ago by the deity Lindsay and ruled by Falsi, godlike beings of immense power and authority. Located in Grand Pulse's atmosphere, Cocoon is a futuristic utopian world isolated from the wilderness of the lower world. Cities exist on the inside of Cocoon's shell with barriers all around, and the people are forbidden to leave Cocoon. Machines and mechanized beasts are commissioned as the citizens' guardians, while the resident Falsi provide them with whatever they need, from food and water to protection and guidance and entertainment. The people of Cocoon are conditioned to believe that Pulsians are savages out to destroy them and their paradise, and that Pulse is a world full of unknown terrors and hell for humans. Grand Pulse, known to Cocoon's people only as Pulse, is the expansive lower world beneath Cocoon, created by its namesake deity, Pulse, as opposed to the Cocoon Felsi, Pulse Felsi only serve to cultivate the land, having little to do with human affairs. The plants and wildlife can evolve and grow into immense sizes, and the world is ruled by natural selection, where only the strongest survive. Compared to Cocoon, Grand Pulse is primitive with ancient technology and monsters roaming everywhere. People of Pulse were raised to believe that Cocoon is a source of evil, a floating nest of vipers posed to attack at any time. 6 centuries ago, tensions between Cocoon and Grand Pulse rose to the point of war, and the War of Transgression broke out. 2 Pulsian girls were made Lassie and bestowed with the power to transform into the legendary beast called Ragnarok to destroy Cocoon. In the war's climax, only one of the girls became Ragnarok and cracked Cocoon's shell, but failed to destroy the floating world. Cocoon was victorious, and most of Grand Pulse's population had been wiped out. Cocoon's Falsi raided Pulse for raw materials to repair the damage sustained, and the war served to strengthen the people's paranoia toward Pulse. You want to jump over to equipment there, sir?
I can.
So you're gonna save equipment
We've
for
got
next
about
week.
10 minutes. We've got about 10 minutes left. Do we want to just start our goodbyes, or do we want to pick up with equipment?
That is entirely up to Mariner here, I think.
Let's see. Let me pause and see what else we got here. Give me back my mouse. There we go. Equipment, summoning mission. What did we all cover so far?
We
Uh,
briefly covered summoning, and then we did missions. We did the synopsis. We covered the characters. And that's basically where we stopped in the article.
Okay. Let's do development since that looks quick, and then we'll do like some of the other topics like the equipment and whatnot next time.
Okay.
So we got big old long releases section. That we'll save that for next week.
Sounds good. So picking up with development, Final Fantasy XIII was revealed to the world at E3 2006 as part of the Fabula Nova Crystallis Final Fantasy series that it would be the flagship title of. It had a tricky development cycle, starting as a project for the PS2 and requiring a brand new engine. Its overarching concept was a future world fantasy and people fighting against their fate. A lot of F's in there. The battle system concept was to maintain the strategic nature of command-based battles, but create battles similar to those seen in Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. The development team resembled those of Final Fantasy X and X-2s, with Yoshinori Kitase at the helm. And that will conclude the development section.
We may go into more detail on the next week because there's a whole article on Final Fantasy XIII development that we could go into.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and
yeah,
let's go ahead and do some sign off here.
Well, so I'd just like to remind everybody, please, 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 do not forget to check out lagginout.com, where we have many articles and lots of features coming soon, courtesy of the Mariner. We are looking for writers for Lagging Out Entertainment. It would be great to have some writers. Myself and Mariner do an all right job, but by no means am I a journalist. Check us out on Lagging Out Live on Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, anywhere else that we can probably find. We run our shows for Lagging Out at 7 o'clock. Sorry.
8 o'clock.
Yes, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. And there are several other streamers, including the Mariner, that will stream for us throughout the week.
Yes, I will be
also
streaming, just in case that was supposed to be a pickup for me, I will be streaming some more Riven tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern time. Hopefully we don't finish the game tomorrow, because I mean to play Riven Thursday night on Lagging Out's channel, but we'll see how that goes, I guess.
Also, check out Tyrundeth occasionally. Go ahead and plug yourself, good sir.
Hey, as a matter of fact, as far as upcoming streams, I do have one on Thursday evening. Usually starting around 8:30 Central. Very much dependent on traffic. I believe this week we are running Warframe. As a matter of fact, the next few weeks we're probably running Warframe as next Wednesday the new expansion drops.
Ooh. So. Is that why Winry put a date, specifically put a date of 3/13 on her next stream?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, 3/13 she's running the prologue to that particular expansion.
I repeat, woo!
Right?
So, yes.
Ooh, okie dokie. Let's see, and then I will be, after tomorrow, I will be away until Sunday night, where I will be, if everything works out correctly with Rogue Penguin, she and I will be playing some Valheim. We had intended to play last Sunday night, but she had to work. She got her schedule changed last minute. So we
That
were
was
unable to play.
unfortunate.
Yes. So you might actually see her on another associated stream here soon. I won't say which one and spoil the surprise, but I will say I will. It's not so suddenly. Hence, definitely check out the live Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And I think that is where we shall sign off for the evening. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out in the chat and watching the stream. Thank you, Hiro and Tyrundeth, as usual.
Glad to be here.
And until next time, enjoy Final Fantasy. Fair winds and fun gaming, y'all. Say good night, gentlemen.
Good night, gentlemen.
Ooh, almost synchronous too. Nice. Good job. All right. Bye, y'all.